Hello everyone, I am Şevval Mutlu. I have always wondered if I can go to space any time of my life. I would want to wander around planets, travel between the galaxies. But as we know, there are many difficulties for humans in space, and of course that restricts people like me. First come to mind is the biological reasons, that is accurate. In the view of space organizations or companies, there are many reasons that make unmanned spacecraft more preferred. Have you ever thought about why space organizations like NASA or SpaceX generally prefer to use and produce unmanned spacecraft? If you are wondering the answer, you might find it here, because today I will present two advantages of unmanned spacecraft. Here is my outline. Firstly, I'm going to talk about low cost, and then I move on to resistance to harsh conditions. Let's take a look at the first advantage, low cost. The first unmanned spacecraft which you see in the picture was built in 1958, and since then an unmanned spacecraft has always been cheaper than a manned spacecraft. And support this claim, I will compare the prices of a manned and unmanned spacecraft. According to the price I got from the site of Planetary, the cost of the Apollo 8, the manned spacecraft in the picture, amounted to $2.6 billion. Let's see the price of the unmanned. This is Viking 1, and this spacecraft cost $1 billion as reported by NASA. If you notice, there is a huge difference. This means that NASA could build two unmanned spacecraft instead of one manned spacecraft. In addition, the unmanned spacecraft will not return to Earth because it doesn't transport people, and this reduces fuel consumption. For the same reason, space organizations do not have to budget for equipment such as food, water, oxygen tubes, or astronaut suits. And these reasons make it advantage as they reduce the cost. I want to turn our attention now to the second advantage, which is resistance to harsh conditions. Conditions such as pressure, radiation, temperature on planets outside the world are not at a level that humans can live or withstand. Consider the radiation on Mars, which is the most popular planet for searching by the scientists. On Earth, we have ozone layer that protects us from harmful beams such as UV radiation. However, Mars does not have such a layer to decrease the amount of radiation reaching the surface. On Mars, there is 700 times more radiation than the Earth, as reported by Miller, who is a biologist. Therefore, if we want to arrange a manned spacecraft, we need to avoid such radiation on Mars to protect the crew. However, if we would have an unmanned spacecraft, we wouldn't have to be dealing with this issue. That would be bringing an advantage for the space agencies. Let's move on to the atmospheric events in planets. There exist numerous differences between the atmospheric events of the planets. These differences create challenging situations to adapt to planet's environment. As stated on NASA Solar System Exploration website, Jupiter is shaken by many winds at a speed of 539 kilometers per hour, and a red spot, which is in the middle, is formed by these winds. If we consider such events, there are extreme conditions for humans' anatomy. To overcome these difficulties, space agencies preferred unmanned spacecraft. To summarize what we discussed today, we talked about two advantages of unmanned spacecraft, um, which are low cost and resistance to harsh conditions. Thanks to these advantages, we can go farther from the moon and explore the universe fastly. If you have any questions, I will gladly answer. Those who are interested, here is my reference list. Thanks for listening to me.